Good morning. Not you, mate. Whenever you're learning a new skill or trying to become someone, a version of yourself that you haven't become before, integration is probably one of the most important things ever. And when, because you honestly need to accept at the very start you're going to be shit at the thing. You're going to be shit at learning the new skill. You're going to be shit at, like, you're literally developing a skill set, whether that be going to the gym, learning something at work, or becoming healthier, I don't fucking know, whatever it is, changing something about your mindset, whatever. Everything that you do for the first time is going to feel hard, is going to feel weird, is going to feel like you want to give up because our brains are wired for safety, and if we're shit at something, then it's a possible threat of looking like an idiot and then not being accepted by the social group, which is like an evolutionary trait. Like if we're not accepted by the social group, then then it means possible threat of death, right? And I'm talking like years ago, like start of time situation. So when you're starting something new, it can be really fucking easy to be like, I'm so shit at this, and make it mean something about you when it's actually not about you. It's just about the skill set. And when you can start to look at your failures or your I'm not good enough and actually change that to I haven't learnt the skill set yet properly, and it's something that I'm developing. It doesn't mean that I'm unworthy. It doesn't mean I'm a shit person. It doesn't mean that I can't do it. It just means I haven't developed the skill sets that I need right now. And the only way you're going to develop them is by continuing to do them. Not by reading about it, not by watching videos about it, not by listening to podcasts about it, by actually fucking doing it and doing it every single day. And it sounds easy to be like, okay, cool, I'm just going to do it every single day. But then on a random like fucking Friday, you're like, I don't want to do it because it's hard and because the whole week, I need to sneeze. Maybe not. Gone. And the whole week you've been like, I'm just shit at this. I don't understand it. I'm just going to give up. Like one Friday doesn't matter. And I would invite you to look at it in terms of how can I make it fun along the way. And this is something that I've had to do in a lot of my, literally everything, to be fair. Like there's so many things in building a new skill set and you building a new mind, in building a new life. Like it's fucking hard, and anyone that says it's not, they're trying to give you a bum steer. But it is going to be hard, and I think it's supposed to be hard because, did you hear that? No, because what is success without suffering? And that's not to be like you need to suffer your entire life to get what you want. It's not. But I truly believe you won't know what success and happiness is if you don't know what pain and struggle is. And again, that's not to be like, oh my God, I need to be struggling my entire life. No, but you need to go through some sort of struggle. Ow, you just pulled my hair. To be able to understand when you've quote unquote made it. And coming back to, I think I spoke about it in last video, but incentivizing the hard shit in your day and doing it first and gamifying it for yourself. So how can you actually make it fun, whether it be listening to music while you do it, whether it be, I don't know, only doing it for 30 minutes and then when your timer goes off you finish the thing and then you have a little reward at the end, like, I don't know, a chocolate bar or going to see your friends or scrolling on social media, like whatever your version of fun is, then implement those systems for yourself. And when I first started doing this, I was like, this is kind of stupid. This is like, I'm kind of bribing myself. And honestly, yeah, because yes, on one hand, you can be super extreme like I started with, and you can just discipline your way into a new life. However, if you wanted to do it sustainably and not in a toxic way, then I would suggest creating mini games for yourself and having a set structure and a set plan and focusing on the right things. And this is why, and I'm not going to say this because I am a coach, but like, this is the reason why I will always speak about investing in people, coaches, mentorships, programs, whatever, to help you lead the way. Because yes, you can do it on your own. Everyone can do everything on their own. But also, like, what is the fucking point? And I'm saying this to myself as well, because it's like, I tried to do a lot of things on my own because my ego was fucking huge. And it hurts. It hurts to ask for help. It does. And I think that's honestly half of the lesson in a lot of this stuff, is to learn what your triggers are and to learn what your ego doesn't want to do and to actually do them, because it's easier to sit in the struggle and spend your entire life trying to figure out something, rather than swallow your pride and just go and speak to someone and be like, hey, I'm actually really fucking struggling at this. Can you just like help me, or can I pay you to help me, or do you have a program, or like, what is it? And yes, you will pay for something then and there, but how much time will you get back because someone's just told you what to work on, and you can skip the trial and error. You can skip the spending days crying because you don't know what to do and trying to figure it out on your own and getting really frustrated on your own and having mental breakdowns all the time. And again, I say this because, yeah, I'm biased, but I've always invested in coaches. I've always invested in mentors. And I think before I started a lot of this stuff, I was like, why the fuck would I pay someone to teach me something that I can go and learn myself? And you're not paying them for the information. You're paying them for the time. You're paying them to help you skip time, to time collapse, I should say, to help you feel better in your body, in your mind, in whatever it is that you're struggling with right now. Like, there's so much information in this world, and I've said this so many times, especially on my Instagram, but it's like 2026, we have so much information in the world to solve every single problem that we have right now, that I have, that you have, that we all have. And it can be problems that you think that you're struggling with alone, but I can guarantee there is one other person at least in this world that's going through the exact same thing as you. And another thing that I want to speak about is, actually, before I move on, when there is so much information in this world, it's like, okay, so why don't we have all of the solutions to our problems right now? And I'm not telling you to do anything. I'm just giving you a different perspective to be like, okay, there is literally all the information in the world right now. Why do you still not have what you want? Or why do you still not have the thing that you want, or the mind that you want, or the body that you want, or whatever it is? And I still invest in people to teach me. I still invest in my own growth, in my own learning, in my mindset, in my body, in my spirituality. I'm always questioning things, and I think that's probably one of the best things about me, and I'm really proud that I do that, and I'm really proud that I do put my ego aside. And sometimes it's still really fucking hard to be like, I feel like I should know this, but I don't know this. So you go and ask someone. And the next thing that I wanted to speak about was community, and the fact that solitude. I used to think that I was the only fucking person going through depression. Crazy. No, I shouldn't laugh about it, but like, I genuinely felt so alone, and I was like, I didn't want to speak to anyone about it because I didn't think that anyone else struggled with that stuff. And after speaking to people, and after doing what I do now and helping other people around the world, it actually shows me that, yes, everyone has individual struggles, as everyone sees life differently, everyone experiences things differently. And I'm not trying to invalidate anyone's personal experiences. However, as a general umbrella, a lot of people struggle with the same things. And this is why having a community, or having people that you know are struggling with the same things and want the same outcome as you around you, to hype you up, to keep you going on the days that you don't want to fucking keep going, and to also like, no, you're just not alone. I think having people to support you is probably one of the best things possible. And it makes you realize that your dreams aren't delusional and your dreams aren't that far-fetched, because this comes back to like group programs, but also travel too. Being able to open up yourself to new perspectives and travel, even if it's still in your hometown or your state, just like go somewhere you haven't been before, or go to a new cafe or whatever it is, because going to new places and being in new environments creates new neural pathways in our brain, which then makes us think differently and changes our perspective. So what I want to wrap around that all to is, if you feel alone in what you're going through, I want you to reach out to someone who actually has the solution to your problems. And then I also want you to go to a new cafe or to a new hike or to a new, like, do something new, because learning that you are not the center of this world will be one of the best things that will ever happen to you. And I've never really said this because I've always thought it's kind of a bit controversial. But based on my own experiences and research, when you have anxiety, when you struggle with anxiety, you are thinking solely about yourself. You are trapped in a victim mentality. You are trapped in your own mind. You're obsessed with yourself. But you're obsessed with yourself in a negative way. And you are so blocked off to every single other perception and belief and any other good in this world because you're so obsessed with yourself. And I can say this because, again, I've lived it. I was obsessed with myself, but I was obsessed with my pain. I was obsessed with my suffering. I was choosing the shitty thing every single day, and that contributed to my anxiety. And it was probably one of the hardest lessons I've ever learned in my entire life. And if someone told me back then that I was self-absorbed and obsessed with myself because I had anxiety, I would have been like, excuse me? You can't fucking shame me into... Like, my ego just would have been so triggered. And that's why I'm careful about what I say, because I think not everyone's ready to hear that. But that's also kind of rude of me expecting that you're not ready to hear that. So take that back. I'm sorry. But being anxious is hard. But being able to choose different is possible. And it doesn't happen overnight. And circling back to the very, very, very beginning, it doesn't happen overnight. And when you can accept that it's not an overnight process and it's something you actually need to enjoy the process in becoming and make it fun and have incentives for yourself and start to enjoy the little things in life again, that is how you create change. And you can't do that alone. I truly believe you can't do that alone. And humans, we haven't evolved to be in solitude. We haven't evolved to be individuals on their own. Like, we have community. And I think that's a really key part that a lot of people skip over and that I skipped over for a lot of my life. And this is probably another reason why I film these videos, because I want you to not feel like you're alone in all of this and that there are solutions to your problems, and it does get better, but it only gets better if you choose it to get better and if you actually invest the time, money, energy into yourself. So, rewind, make the process fun, surround yourself with like-minded people that actually want to grow or achieve the same things as you. And anxiety is because you're self-absorbed. Ouch. My brain is like, I need to justify that and soften it down for the people that are like, no, you can't fucking say that. But also, like, I've lived it. I was self-obsessed. And it takes a lot of things to come out of that. And it takes, for some people, holistic approaches and talk therapy and medication and programs and whatever it is. It is a choice at the end of the day. And when you have the program and the structure to choose better, that is how you get rid of your anxiety. That is how you reduce it. That is how you work with your biology to understand why you're anxious and to understand neuroscience-backed strategies to actually help you navigate that. Because, again, coming back to one of my other videos, can I even speak today again? Coming back to one of my other videos, you shouldn't, and none of us should, try to eliminate fear, anxiety, anger, frustration, again, the negative emotions. It's like, how do we deal with them in a healthy way? And how do we understand them and help us learn that they're just communication tools, that they're just trying to tell us something is in misalignment, or we need something more, or we need something less of. So I hope that didn't come across as me trying to shame you because you're anxious. It's really not what I try to do. I just want to show you that there is opportunity to choose different if you genuinely want to stop feeling anxious, or if you want to reduce your anxiety and you actually want to take control of your life again, because anxiety will rule your world and it will rule your life if you don't intervene and if you don't get the help that you need and deserve. And I truly believe everyone's deserving of living a life without chronic anxiety and depression and mental health issues. So that's what I hope to do. Okay. He was good today because we just went for a walk before. Oh. Stretches. Okay, bye.